Hello everyone, how are you? We are going to see where to stay in João Pessoa, which are the best neighborhoods and beaches to stay, and tips on hotels and inns located in the main areas to stay in the city. So the main neighborhoods and beaches of João Pessoa are Tambaú, Cabo Branco, Manaíra, Bessa. And we will also comment a little about the Cabo Branco tourist pole, which is being implemented in this area. And the first resorts are expected to open at the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026. These 12 numbers here on the map are the hotels and inns that we will discuss throughout the video, and there are options for all types of travelers. From 5-star hotels, there are also budget hotels, inns, hostels, apartments for rent, and serviced apartments. So there are options for all types of travelers and budgets as well. The links to the hotels and inns are here in the video description and also in the first comment. So we will start with Tambaú, which is the main neighborhood, right? The most famous neighborhood here in João Pessoa, okay? The city's tourist center. So it is located at this point here. Let me zoom in a little more. So Tambaú Beach is the main one, the busiest here in João Pessoa. It has a waterfront in this section, which is the main point of the city's waterfront. There's Beira-Mar Avenue, a boardwalk, a bike path, many kiosks, and stalls to serve the bathers with chairs, umbrellas, drinks, and snacks. The beach is quite busy. The sea is good for swimming, okay? And the neighborhood here has excellent infrastructure with shops, bars, restaurants. In short, there are plenty of options here for dining, shopping, and also hotels and accommodations. And Hotel which is located at this point, is in the best location to stay in João Pessoa, okay? At the main point of the shoreline, it is located near the area where the craft fairs are, which we will comment on shortly. Here is also the Largo de Tambaú, which is on the border between Cabo Branco and Tambaú, which is an important point. So Hotel is right in the heart of João Pessoa's shoreline at the best spot, with several kiosk options right in front. A sensational location. So let's take a look at it. It's the Laguna Praia Hotel. It's a 4-star hotel, rated 9.2 on Booking. That's a very good rating. Let's take a look at some photos here. So the hotels here on the João Pessoa shoreline can't be very tall due to construction restriction. So usually they have 3 or 4 floors, a small rooftop pool, right? But with a sensational view. So the Laguna Praia Hotel has a rooftop pool, bar service, a restaurant, and also a gym. And it's a hotel then that is located at a sensational spot on the shoreline. See, this is the hotel, the pool up here. Here is Avenida Beira-Mar, the boardwalk, the kiosks are along the shoreline. So a sensational location. Bar service at the pool, see, gym. So it's a hotel that is in the best location to stay in João Pessoa. It also has a restaurant. And let's just go back here then. See, this here is Tambaú Beach, right? So it has a more yellowish sand strip. The sea is usually calm, good for swimming. And here the catamarans are departing to take trips to the natural pools of Picãozinho or Seixas, right? Which is a little further away. So the links for you to check the prices of the hotels are in the QR code, in the video description, and also in the first comment. So let's go back to our list. So here we are now going to Hotel 2, say, and it is located right here at the border, okay? So let me mark it here. Look, here, Avenida Presidente Epitácio Pessoa is at the border of Tambaú, which is up here, with Cabo Branco, which is down here. Accommodation 2 is here. So this section here is the main part of the João Pessoa waterfront. Here is the Largo, the Tambaú. So this section has been turned into a promenade just for pedestrians with ice cream shops and restaurants. This is a spot where children play at night, okay? Here is the João Pessoa sign, the bust of Tamandaré. So the beach here is very busy with many kiosks. This entire area here is the best for walking around João Pessoa, both during the day and at night. So also here, this region, this is the most sensational location. You can stay in João Pessoa if you want excitement, activity to go out on foot at night, with many options for bars, restaurants, indies, and shops. It's the most touristy part of the city. Hotel Dois is not, on the beachfront. It's about 2 blocks from the beach, but here in a sensational location. So let's see here is the Quality Suites João Pessoa a 4-star hotel rated 8.3 on Booking. So let's look at some photos here. So it also has a rooftop pool with a very beautiful view, right? Even though it is not beachfront. Here are the rooms. The rooms, they have a small sink, right? At least some rooms, right? It has room options like this. So the pool, a very beautiful view here of the Cabo Branco neighborhood. So this here is the quality hotel, see? So it is located on João Pessoa. Here, look, Avenida Beira-Mar. But this stretch here was recently turned into a boardwalk. This block here then is the Largo de Tambaú. Here is Avenida Beira-Mar, and here is the João Pessoa sign, and here is Tambaú Beach. So a location, it's sensational. It has a bar here on the rooftop, right? On the rooftop, which also serves the pool. So the hotel, it has a restaurant too, okay? So a hotel right here in the true tourist heart of João Pessoa. And now here is accommodation 5, which is located in the Cabo Branco neighborhood. But before that, we will go to accommodation 3, still here in Tambaú. So this region here in Tambaú, it has some different characteristics. This area here, so the Beira-Mar waterfront, it goes up to this point here. Here is the Tambaú Hotel, which is deactivated. It's a building that is in legal disputes. Okay? So here you have a bit more difficulty accessing the beach. Accommodation 3 does not, because it is right here near the waterfront. Okay? But at this point here, you have difficulty accessing the beach. But here is the area where the Tambaú fairs and markets are concentrated. And there are many options. So here is the Tambaú Handicraft Fair. Here is the Tambaú Tourist Center. Here is another arts and crafts market. Here is the Tambaú Public Market with products like fruits, typical products. Here is Mape, the Paraibano Handicraft Market, which is also very nice. The Tambaú Fish Market is located here. So it's a region with plenty of options for craft shops, souvenirs, and typical products. So it's a really nice area as well. And here there is a predominance of more economical accommodations, okay? So there are plenty of dining options too. It's a busy spot both day and night, okay? Just regarding the beach, the swimming beach is here, starting from this point, okay? So accommodation 3 is located here in this part of Tambaú. This, an excellent location here close to the main shore, but also near the little fairs and markets. You know of handicrafts, and it's the Eco Summer, Tambaú Flats, which is a residential with partial hotel services. A 9 rating on Booking, a very good score. Okay? So what's the proposal here? It's for you to rent an apartment that has some hotel services, okay? So look, it has a really nice pool here on the rooftop. So here is its location. Look, it's at this point. Here is the Tambaú Hotel. In this area, here are the handicraft fairs, and here is the main stretch of the shore. So a sensational location. Look, it's a new modern building, okay? It has a game room, a gym, a pool here on the rooftop, a mini convenience store, parking, and the apartments. They have 2 bedrooms, okay? Look, the building also has an Omo laundry for common use by everyone. A mini playground. Here, look, the apartments have 2 bedrooms. The penthouse apartments have a pool. Yes, they have a hot tub. Okay? Private here for the penthouse apartments. You can, yes, reserve a penthouse. So, the apartments are furnished. They have bed linens, bath towels, a fully equipped kitchen, okay? Air conditioning. So it's a really nice option for those who want a mix of an apartment for rent, but with some hotel services. The cleaning, right, of the apartment can be done, but there's an extra fee. So you hire it whenever you want. So an excellent option here in a sensational location in Tambaú. Remember that the links, right, to check the prices are in the in the QR code in the video description and in the first comment. And to finish, here the 4th accommodation, well, is right next to the craft fairs, okay? And craft markets here. The public market of Tambaú. And it's the Anamar Hotel. It's a 2-star hotel, rated 8.6 on Booking. So it's a very economical hotel, okay? A small, compact hotel for those looking for cost effectiveness and an excellent location. It offers breakfast, okay? And it has a small pool. So it's a hotel for those who are looking for affordability and a sensational location here at Tambaú Beach in João Pessoa. And if you want to see more accommodations here in Tambaú, on the blog article, we've prepared a complete guide, okay, of accommodations. So here, in the tips on where to stay, Where to stay in? João Pessoa. If we come here to the beach right in the Tambau neighborhood, we have a complete listing of hotels and inns. They are divided by guest review ratings. Yes, it includes the main amenities of each accommodation: pool, restaurant, bar, game room, kids play area, and so on. So there are several options. So this is available in Tambau, but also for all other beaches and neighborhoods in the city. So it's quite easy here for you to search for more accommodations in João Pessoa, and the link to access the article on the blog is in the video description and also in the first comment, and we'll also leave it here in the QR code on the screen. So now we're going to the next neighborhood here, which is Cabo Branco, located just south of Tambau. So Cabo Branco is already a more extensive neighborhood, right? Approximately this area here, it is about 4 kilometers long, and Cabo Branco is divided into two parts. There's this part here, which is a continuation of Tambau, so it's a very busy, lively section, quite similar to Tambau. And then there's the rest here where the beach becomes more peaceful, right? Less crowded. But there are several hotel options in both sections here. Let's zoom in a little bit here then. So we go here to Hotel Cinco, which is located here at the border with Tambau, right? In this area that I had already mentioned. So here is the Lago de Tambau. Here is the João Pessoa sign. So Hotel Cinco is located here at the main point of the João Pessoa waterfront. Very busy, many kiosks, many stalls, right? The parties, yes, several parties here. Yes, on the beach happen here, so the New Year's Eve of João Pessoa. Anyway, one of the most popular sections here, the most popular section here of the João Pessoa waterfront. And Hotel Cinco is a 5-star hotel and is one of the newest here in João Pessoa. So it's the 5-star hotel bar, rated 9 on Booking, a very good rating. And the hotel bar is famous for being the hotel of the soccer player Hulk, right? So he is one of the owners here, yes, of the hotel. And it is a hotel that I think was inaugurated in 2022 or 2023. So relatively new, modern. I think it's the only 5-star hotel option here in this main section of the João Pessoa waterfront. So it has a pool, yes, on the rooftop. This pool is heated, right? Look, it was voted one of the 5 best new hotels in the world on TripAdvisor. So the pool is on the rooftop, has an infinity edge, and is heated. It's a modern hotel, with a unique design. It has a spa. It has a playroom. Look, the playroom is really nice. So the hotel is more luxurious. You see, it has a gym. The rooms are luxurious with top quality linens, right? So for those who want a more comfortable and luxurious experience, in the best location to stay, in João Pessoa. So here's the hotel. You start at Cabo Branco Beach, but here continuing from Tambau, right, with the same characteristics, okay? So it's a sensational location. It has a rooftop bar, on the top floor. It has bicycles. It has restaurants. So the hotel here is for those who want a more luxurious experience in João Pessoa. And continuing here at Cabo Branco Beach, more in the southernmost section in Bo. Accommodation 6 is located at a point on the beach that is already quieter, okay? Yes, the kiosks here at Cabo Branco Beach, they come up to this point. So accommodation 6 is here, and the kiosks come roughly up to this point here. So from here downwards, there are no kiosks, making the beach even quieter. So there are more hotels further down, which would be more for those who, want a really quiet beach without much infrastructure, okay? But here, despite being further south, there are dining options in the surroundings. Here is the Bar do Cuscuz, which is one of the most famous bars in João Pessoa. Here is the Cabo Branco Park, which is a space for food trucks. A very famous and interesting food court as well. So it's a quieter, pleasant area, but still has infrastructure, okay? Further south here, the accommodations become more lacking, okay? The hotels in this section here are already more lacking in commerce, restaurants, and services. So let's look at Hotel 6. It's the Rede Andrade Solmar, a 3-star hotel, rated 8.2 on Booking. So it's a more economical hotel. For those looking for cost benefit, it has a pool, okay? And it has a gym. So these are the main amenities offered by the hotel. It also offers breakfast. It has more economical rooms, okay? For those looking for cost benefit, right? A proposal for a more economical trip, but in a good location here in João Pessoa. So the links for you to check prices are in the QR code, in the video description, and also in the first comment. And in the article on the blog, there's a larger selection of accommodations at Cabo Branco Beach and all the other beaches here as well. And now we're going to Manaíra, which is the neighborhood located north of Tambaú, around this area here, okay? So Manaíra is one of the most upscale neighborhoods in João Pessoa and has an excellent, structure, an excellent infrastructure of commerce, bars, and restaurants. Several of the best restaurants in João Pessoa are located here, okay? It also has 2 shopping malls. One of them is Manaíra Shopping, which I think is the largest or the second largest in João Pessoa. And there's Mag Shopping, which is here, right, by the seaside. It's a smaller mall, but has various dining options, okay? So Manaíra is a neighborhood with a large commercial infrastructure. It's a more residential and commercial neighborhood than a tourist one, okay? The neighborhood, Yuku, is not as touristically popular as Tambaú and Cabo Branco, but it's an upscale area, right? With excellent infrastructure. The downside here is that Manaíra Beach, although it has a beautiful view, is not very attractive for swimming. It has a boardwalk, a seaside avenue, it's nice for walks, but it's not much sought after for swimming and doesn't have kiosks or stalls to serve the bathers, okay? So let's start here with accommodation 7, which is located here at the border between Manaíra and Tambaú, okay? So this is the area of the little markets, right? In Tambaú. So accommodation 7 is in an excellent location here for you to get around. This area here has many options for shopping, restaurants, okay? This entire area here. And it's very close to Manaíra Beach, but for a beach, you know, with kiosk infrastructure and everything else, you'll find that here in Tambaú, okay? So let's take a look at accommodation 7. It's the Hotel Pousada Kairos. So it's a very economical hotel and inn rated 8.7 on Booking. So a simple option here, very close to the Tambaú markets. So an economical accommodation, right? For those looking for cost benefit. It also offers breakfast. Look, it has a mini convenience store. So an economical proposal here on the border of Manaíra with Tambaú. Accommodation 8 is right nearby, okay? Even a little closer to the beach here, I think about 100 meters. It has the advantage of being close to, let me see if I can find it here. Look here, Villa Gourmet, which is also a dining space with food trucks. Really nice, right? But there are several other restaurant options around here. It's a very pleasant neighborhood, close to the beach. And it's a hostel, so it's a hostel option with private and shared rooms. The Oka Hostel Bar, rated 9.2. On Booking, a very good rating, right? So it's an economical option, okay? Look, it has a shared kitchen and also a washing machine for guests. So a hostel well rated by guests. Options for private and shared rooms, okay? And an excellent location here in the neighborhood, in Manaíra. And continuing here, still in Manaíra, accommodation 9 is in this part of the neighborhood that has many excellent restaurants, right? That's about 250 meters from Mag Shopping, okay? Which also has several restaurants. It's about 200 meters from the beach. Here, look, close by. Yes, accommodation 9 is here. So nearby is Fascino Medieval, which is a medieval-themed restaurant that is quite famous in João Pessoa. Mangai is also here, which is a themed restaurant with Northeastern and Brazilian cuisine. But there are many other options for bars and restaurants around here. And accommodation 9 is the Hotel Manaíra. It's a 4-star hotel with a rating of 8.9 on Booking, which is a very good score as well. And it's a modern hotel, also in the boutique motel style, right? And it has a restaurant, a bar, a pool, and a gym. Look, it also has a baby cupboard. So another option here, a modern hotel, right? In the style of the hotels in João Pessoa, which are more compact hotels, right? The hotel's kind of in the boutique hotel style, right? So a good option here in the neighborhood of Manaíra in João Pessoa. And to finish with Manaíra, the Hotel Des is located here on Avenida Beira-Mar. So it's facing the sea here at Manaíra Beach. Here is the mega shopping, so it's just a few steps from the shopping center. There are several restaurant options here, including Camarada Camarão. The Manaíra shopping is not so far from here, about 1 kilometer from Hotels Des and Nova. So it's a sensational location here in Manaíra. And it's the Castel Jan Hotel, a 4-star hotel, rated 9. A very good rating on Booking, right? And it has a heated pool. So the unique feature it offers is a pool. It's heated and it's not on the rooftop, okay? It's located here at the ground level of the hotel. It offers room options with a jacuzzi, which is quite nice, Biyamambo, and it also has a heated jacuzzi next to the pool. It has, chairs and umbrellas. On the beach, a restaurant, bicycles, and a bar, okay? It has a mini gym. So the hotel is really nice with a sensational location in Manaíra, which is a very pleasant neighborhood for those who want to enjoy the cuisine here in João Pessoa. So in the article on the blog, there are more accommodation options in Manaíra, okay? A very complete guide. So if you want to take a look there. So to wrap up the neighborhoods, we will go to Bessa Beach to finish the neighborhoods that have accommodations, right? Afterwards, we will also talk about the Cabo Branco tourist hub, which has not yet been completed. So Bessa Beach is located further north here in João Pessoa. It is outside the main tourist area, right? The main tourist waterfront but it is one of the most beautiful beaches in João Pessoa. It is nicknamed Cara e Bessa, okay? And it has 2 parts. There's this part here where Hospedagem 11 is located. Here, there is no street or Beira-Mar Avenue. So here, the accommodations are right on the sand, right? The beachfront buildings are right on the sand. And then this section here, it has a Beira-Mar Avenue. So let's first go to Hospedagem 11, which is located in this section here, right on the sand. So it is one of the only hotels right on the sand in João Pessoa, okay? I think there are only 2. So this one is one of the 2, right? Hotels, right on the sand in João Pessoa. It's a 5-star hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in the city, okay? So it is located here. And the cool thing, let me zoom in a bit here. And the cool thing here is that it is right on the sand. And next to it are several beach restaurants and bars that are quite popular, okay? Especially on weekends and holidays. It attracts many people from João Pessoa itself to enjoy the beach, okay? So one of them is Fulano, there's Golfinho Bar, and there's Praiano. So it becomes a very lively area here. So you can enjoy the Hotel 11 here, which also has restaurants, but you can also take advantage of the infrastructure of these neighboring establishments. The Bessa neighborhood is an upscale area, one of the most affluent neighborhoods in João Pessoa, but it doesn't have a concentrated center for walking around and such. It has several restaurant options, but you need to get around by taxi, car, or app, okay? So let's take a look at the Hospedagem 11, which is the Oceana Atlântico Hotel and Spa. So it's a 5-star hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in João Pessoa, rated 9.3, excellent on Booking, okay? So look, it's right on the beachfront, okay? Here, look, some of those beach bars and restaurants I mentioned. Here's the main stretch of the João Pessoa waterfront, okay? So it has at least 2 pools here that are oceanfront, right on the sand. One of them is heated, okay? And it's a hotel with excellent infrastructure. It has, look, rooms with a hot tub. It offers a very beautiful view of the beach. There are 2 restaurants, one of which is Japanese. The environments are luxurious, okay? It's a new modern hotel. It has good infrastructure. It has at least 2 or maybe 3 bars, okay? Which is really nice too. It has a gym. It has a spa. Look, the spa. There's also a kids area. So it's a hotel that's an excellent option for those looking for a beachfront hotel in João Pessoa. And to finish our list of hotels, we go to Hotel Dos, which is located on the stretch of Bessa Beach, which has Avenida Beira-Mar. So here, there is an Avenida Beira-Mar. This area is even busier because access is easier. The waterfront here doesn't have kiosks, but there are several beach stalls to serve the bathers. And this region here has some options for bars, restaurants, ice cream shops, okay? And what's nice about Hotel Dos is that it's next to Bessa Grill. So Bessa Grill is here, which is a venue, yes, for events, and it also functions as a restaurant, so there's a lot of programming here at Bessa Grill. And Hotel Dos is located right next to it. So let's take a look at it. It's the Bessa Beach Hotel. It's a 4-star hotel, rated 7.7 on Booking. The rating isn't that great. So let's take a look at some photos here. So it has a pool, it has a bar, and it also has a restaurant. okay? So look, it's located here on Avenida Beira-Mar, right? Facing Bessa Beach, okay? So it's an excellent location. And Bessa Grill is right next to it. So here is Bessa Beach, and here is Bessa Beach Hotel, and here is Bessa Grill. So the hotel here is me at a point here with Avenida Beira-Mar of Bessa Beach. So in the article on the blog, there's a more complete list of hotels and inns on all the beaches here in João Pessoa. So take a look there. It will be easier for you to find a hotel or inn to stay at. And to finish, I'll comment a little here about the Cabo Branco tourist hub, which is being implemented roughly in this region here. Look. So let me mark it roughly. It will be more or less in this area here, okay? Here is already the convention center of João Pessoa. So here, the largest planned tourist complex in the Northeast is being developed. There will be 21 developments, resorts, water parks, theme parks. There will also be a boulevard, options for dining, shopping, entertainment, okay? This is being developed. There are about 8 resorts that have already been announced. Several are already under construction. The first ones are expected to be inaugurated at the end of 2025, but will probably be delayed and open at the beginning of 2026. So it's going to be a mega development, several resorts with hundreds of rooms each, right? So it's going to be a revolution in tourism in João Pessoa, and it will certainly have several excellent options, right? And complete, right, with full infrastructure for accommodation, gastronomic, and leisure infrastructure, okay? There is also a downside to all this, which is that this was an area of preserved Atlantic forest, right? João Pessoa is known as a green city. It was once considered the second greenest capital in the world, right? Due to the number of trees and preserved Atlantic forest. And here, to implement this, a huge area of preserved Atlantic forest is being devastated. I even noted here is about 650 hectares of deforestation of preserved Atlantic forest. This is equivalent to more than 900 football fields and amounts to almost 50% of the Atlantic forest area that João Pessoa had, right? So practically half or almost half is being destroyed to implement the Cabo Branco tourist complex. So there are both positive and negative aspects, okay? Who knows, in the future, right? I might record a new video here about where to stay in João Pessoa, already including accommodation options here at the Cabo Branco tourist complex. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on the video. A hug, and see you in the next video.